One minute, Rachel Zegler was being paraded as the next Disney princess, the face of a brave new era for live-action fairy tales. The next minute, gone. No red carpets, no press tours, no cryptic Instagram stories about growth or healing. Just vanished, like a puff of glittery smoke drifting north across the border. And now, insiders say she's been spotted in Canada, quietly slipping away from the flaming wreckage that was supposed to be Disney's triumphant Snow White reboot, and the $100 million legal storm chasing right behind her. The $100 million disaster. Before we dive into one of the most bizarre and chilling mysteries to ever hit Hollywood, make sure to subscribe if you love deep dives into unsolved cases, hidden truths, and shocking celebrity mysteries. Trust me, this one is going to leave you speechless. Nobody saw coming, except everyone did. It's one thing for a movie to flop. Hollywood knows how to spin that. Artistic risk, bold vision, misunderstood by critics. But this wasn't just a bad weekend at the box office. This was a full-blown catastrophe fueled by Zegler's own mouth, her constant digs at the original Snow White, her casual dismissal of Prince Charming as a stalker, her smug red carpet quips about rewriting the story for a generation that didn't ask for it to be rewritten. And Disney? They bet the kingdom on her. They handed her a $250 million spectacle, and in return got a cultural backlash so fierce it turned a fairy tale into a corporate horror story. Disney's legal nuclear button, the breach of contract lawsuit behind the scenes. Disney wasn't just seething, they were plotting. When the film's disastrous opening weekend numbers rolled in, reportedly triggering a $300 million projected loss after marketing and distribution costs, Disney's executives moved fast. According to leaked memos, Zegler's contract included a morality clause, a standard Hollywood feature designed to protect studios from conduct harmful to the brand. And guess what? Disney's legal sharks decided that trashing your own character, your own prince, and the very story you're supposed to embody, yeah, that qualifies. Thus the $100 million lawsuit, a brutal attempt to recover damages, save face and warn every other rising star who thinks clout chasing is a substitute for professionalism. The Great Canadian Escape, why Zegler fled faced with mounting media scrutiny, a lawsuit breathing down her neck, and zero public support. Rachel Zegler did what anyone backed into a corner might do. She ran. Sources say she crossed into Canada just days after being served initial legal notices. Officially, taking time for herself. Unofficially, getting the hell away from the disaster zone. And honestly, can you blame her? The girl went from future of Disney to cautionary tale faster than a poisoned apple hitting the floor. Everywhere she turned, there were no allies left. Disney dropped her, agents stopped calling, fans turned memes into missiles. Hollywood's a tough town, but when you're carrying the stain of one of the most expensive flops in recent memory, it's not just tough, it's radioactive. Negotiations in the shadows. Can this mess even be settled? Lawyers on both sides are reportedly now engaged in frantic, secretive negotiations. Disney wants blood, Zegler's team wants mercy, but settlements aren't easy when the brand reputation of a $100 billion-plus company is involved. Disney knows they can't afford another PR hit by looking vindictive. Zegler knows she can't afford an ugly trial that would air every messy detail of her interviews, rehearsals, contract obligations, and maybe even text messages mocking the character she was supposed to save. If there's a deal to be made, it'll probably involve a quiet face-saving settlement, no admission of guilt, no public apology, a mutual parting of ways announcement that tries to rewrite the disaster into a learning experience. Classic Hollywood damage control. But make no mistake, the bridge is burned. Hollywood's new warning label, don't pull a Zegler within industry circles. Rachel Zegler's name is now officially slang. Make sure the star actually likes the source material, or you'll get Zeglered. We can't afford a Zegler situation on this campaign. Her crash and burn saga has become the prime example of what happens when stars confuse activism with storytelling. Studios confuse buzz with bankability, marketing teams confuse arrogance with empowerment, and every young actor coming up through the ranks, they're watching, they're learning, because if Rachel Zegler, a once promising talent with Spielberg's blessing and a Disney crown, can lose it all in one promotional cycle, nobody's safe. Meanwhile, Canada watches silently. For now, Rachel Zegler is holed up in the Great White North, licking her wounds. Maybe she's planning a rebrand. Maybe she's plotting a heartfelt comeback tour. Maybe she's just hiding out praying the next celebrity meltdown knocks her out of the headlines. But one thing's for sure, she's learned the hard way that Hollywood is no fairy tale, it's a business. A brutal, merciless, no happily ever after business. Final thought, Disney's frozen smile. Don't be fooled when Disney executives smile on stage about learning experiences and valuing talent. Behind closed doors, they're furious, they're embarrassed, they're panicking about the next IP reboot facing the Zegler curse. And now, they're writing contracts twice as tight, twice as ruthless, twice as ironclad. Because after this, Disney isn't betting on personalities anymore, they're betting on control. The fallout isn't just career ending, it's historic. Rachel Zegler's Snow White collapse isn't your average Hollywood flop. It's not just, oh no, the movie didn't do well. It's historic. We are witnessing the rarest of rare events, a movie so culturally radioactive, so catastrophically mishandled, that it may change how studios cast, train, and even interact with their actors forever. We're not just talking about a movie's failure, we're talking about an industry-wide course correction in real time. And Rachel Zegler, her name is going to be in textbooks for all the wrong reasons. Inside Disney, a witch hunt for who's to blame. In the hallways of Disney's executive offices right now, it's Hunger Games. Everybody pointing fingers, nobody wanting to own up. Whose idea was it to cast Zegler? Whose idea was it to let her go rogue in every interview? Whose bright marketing plan thought trashing the original Snow White was a winning move? Insiders say there are now internal audits happening, where studio heads are having to account for how decisions on Snow White were made, who approved Zegler's soundbites, and why no one stepped in before the backlash swallowed the entire project alive. Careers are at stake, bonuses are being cancelled, and the higher-ups? They're suddenly very interested in what the next generation of Disney stars are posting on social media. Actors now under the microscope, like never before. You think future Disney leads are going to be allowed to speak off script now? Think again. PR teams are being tripled for upcoming Disney projects. Actor contracts now reportedly include mandatory media training sessions, 6 months before filming even starts. And in these sessions, Lesson 1 is now titled, How Not to Embarrass the Company, the Character, or Yourself. Actors are reportedly being warned, love the story, respect the fans, or you're replaceable. Rachel Zegler didn't just blow up her own career, she's about to make life miserable for every actor coming up behind her. Because studios now know one viral quote can cost you hundreds of millions. The memification of Rachel Zegler is permanent. The internet never forgets. You can apologize, you can rebrand, you can even win an Oscar. But once you become a meme, especially a negative one, you are etched into the cultural consciousness forever. Rachel Zegler is now a cautionary meme. This could have been a win if she didn't hate her own movie. Be careful what you say, or you'll pull a Zegler. How to Tank a Billion-Dollar Princess Empire in 5 Easy Interviews. Future Hollywood hopefuls will see her downfall, not as an accident, but as a blueprint of how to ruin your own legend before it even starts. And the cruelest part? She's still barely in her 20s. She didn't just fumble the bag, she set it on fire and launched it into the sun. Disney's next move, Operation Memory Wipe. Reports say Disney is now planning a soft memory wipe on the Snow White disaster. You'll notice no major Snow White merch was rolled out this summer. Theme park plans involving Snow White were delayed indefinitely. Press tours abruptly canceled. Internally, Disney is reportedly planning to let the movie quietly die. No anniversary re-releases, no bonus editions, no ride updates. Snow White 2025 will be treated like the Black Cauldron, one of those dark little mistakes Disney pretends never happened. The goal? Erase Zegler's association with Snow White entirely. Move forward, never speak of this again. Brutal, but honestly, strategic, because Disney knows, the longer Snow White 2025 stays in the public eye, the longer the stink lingers over everything they touch. Meanwhile in Canada, the self-reflection phase, hopefully, back up north, Zegler is reportedly lying low. Sources say she's spending her time reflecting, journaling, and reassessing her career path. Good, because here's the thing, Rachel Zegler isn't without talent, she isn't beyond redemption, but she's going to have to unlearn a lot of bad habits fast. Treating interviews like personal soapboxes, mocking the very characters she's supposed to embody, acting like audience nostalgia is something to be embarrassed by. If she can actually listen to what went wrong, and not just blame haters, or misogyny, or racist, then maybe, just maybe, she can stage a comeback someday. But it's going to take time, and silence, and a lot of humility, something she sorely lacked during the Snow White debacle. Hollywood's real lesson: nostalgia isn't the enemy. Arrogance's Snow White didn't flop because people hate modern interpretations. It flopped because the entire project oozed condescension. Audiences don't mind updates, they don't mind tweaks, but when you insult the story, the characters, and by extension, the audience, you lose them. Jack Black got it. The Minecraft movie team got it. Pixar at its best gets it. It's not about pandering to nostalgia, it's about respecting the emotional bond people have with the stories that shape them. Rachel Zegler never understood that, and now, her career is a cautionary tale about what happens when Hollywood forgets it too. Final shot: fairy tales still matter, if you treat them like they matter. In the end, the Snow White disaster isn't just about a bad movie, it's about an attitude that has infested Hollywood for too long. We're better than these old stories. We're smarter than the people who love them. We can fix what isn't broken. Rachel Zegler became the face of that arrogance, and she paid the price. Maybe now, maybe finally, Hollywood will remember fairy tales aren't childish. Nostalgia isn't regressive. Stories that endure for generations earned that endurance. You either honor them or you get crushed trying to fix them. Just ask Rachel Zegler, or better yet, look north, because if you listen closely, somewhere in Canada, you can almost hear the echo of a career hitting rock bottom. Drop your take in the comments. Should Disney reboot Snow White again, or let it die? Does Rachel Zegler deserve a second chance? And what classic story would you want to see honored properly? Smash that subscribe button for more nuclear Hollywood meltdowns, fairy tale funerals, and raw, unfiltered truth about the industry we love and love to roast. Because around here, the truth is sharper than any poisoned apple, and we're just getting started.